Welcome to Bar Says So. Today I have a very special guest.
We here, man.
Introduce
The
yourself.
calls in the building at King Causey on all social media. Release Party 2, Empaths Paradise is out now. We really excited over here. It's an honor to be here.
Yes. Thank you for coming all the way to West Bubble. I know it was a little bit of a drive.
Yeah, I live up in North Jersey, so it took a little minute, but like I said, we happy to be
here. Yes. All right. So let everybody know the name, the cause. What really inspired you to name yourself that?
It's not the best story. I really just had a name when I first was coming up. For some reason, I named myself Young C when I was real little. I have no idea why. I don't know if it's because my father's name is Chris. That's the only thing I could think of. But back in MySpace days when the music pages got popping, you go up there, it's a million Young C's. It's the most obvious name in the world. So I started going through the dictionary trying to figure out what C is going to take that place. So it went to Young Calls and then it went to Doug Calls. But I would just say the reason why I chose Calls was actually for a reason, even if back then I didn't see the full meaning of it. But with every cause, there's an effect. My music has a cause and it has an effect. And, I am that cause and that effect at the same time, you feel me? And just music being my purpose, um, I feel like that has a big part to do with why I named myself that.
Okay, yes. I like that. And that's what I thought of when I first heard of you, the cause. I was like, that's deep because not everybody has a mission or they don't know what their purpose is. And I feel like with your name, it obviously puts it as a what do you call it? A first impression, a good first impression. Like, okay, the cause, okay. So what would you say is your passion with music? Like what drives you when you create?
I feel like when I first was starting, I feel like it was almost just the expression itself. Even sometimes, like I started really rapping when I was like 8 years old. So at that age, it's you might just want to say some funny shit, crack on somebody, or you know, say something with shock value just to see how people react. But then it gets to the point where I want to put my life into it. I want to express certain things about myself, and then there might be certain things just about society that I want to say. There might be sounds and different flows and different melodies that I want to try, different samples. It's just something about, for some reason, for me, after the expression and everything, just the love of the sonics, the love of the sound of making music, making people feel good, raising people's self-esteem, bringing people together. Things like that is like really wild. What really makes me want to do music. Besides that, I just love hip hop and soul music, and music in general.
And before we started recording, you were kind of telling me about certain artists that you felt like inspired you. Can you tell us again who those artists were and kind of where your sound comes from a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. Everybody from Kanye West to Outkast, Lauryn Hill, the Fugees, um, Frank Ocean. There's new, there's old. Just people like Kanye West and Dungeon Family, like Outkast, CeeLo, Goody Mob. Shout out Big Rude. They some of my biggest influences. Sleepy Brown. Anybody that just makes good music, and especially if there's somebody that can make the hottest shit but put the most important things that you need to hear in it or just put the realest things in it, the whole melting pot and the art of being like a whole artist, having the complete package is what drew me to like certain people.
Okay, yeah. So cause I was before listening to the Release Party 2, I went back again and I listened to the Release Party 1, and I kind of want to talk about that a little bit before we get into Release Party 2. Can you tell us, how this saga began?
Yeah, well, before all this, I was in a group called The Cause of Knowledge. We dropped 2 albums, and then I went off on my own. I did something called Throwback Thursdays, which was more like a mixtape of me taking people beats that inspired me, like we just were talking about, and rapping on those. And then it was like, all right, I'm almost like starting over in a way. Like I started solo, but now I'm back solo. Like I had this idea for a release party since me and my whole squad was doing shows of just release party is really, it really means like, let's get it all out. Whatever pain, worries, doubt, expression, whatever you have inside, let's get it out and let's just have a good time. You feel me? Like if motherfuckers want to wild out, let's wild out. If you want to dance, dance. If you want to stand there and bob your head, you could do that. But let's really like make this something. Don't just come here and like everybody. I don't really want everybody standing around. Like let's really share this moment. You feel me? And so I did the first one, and my boy 100 Grand, who's on the album, Release Party 2, he was actually the one that told me you should do a part 2 or whatever. And I was like, nah, I didn't really think about it. And then it hit me like, man, I got unfinished business. Like, I don't think certain things like the release party meaning are that deep, but people sometimes are not used to thinking so much anymore when it comes to an artist. So even something like that, there was people that at first thought I was having a release party. There's people that maybe just thought it was a hot name, and I'm like, no, y'all not really understanding. This shit really means something to my music. This is what my music is about. You know, there's something that, you know, I have release party 3 in the works, and that's probably gonna be the last one, but it's always something where I'm gonna come out on stage like, let's have a release party. You feel me? Because, like I said, it's just a part of what I bring to the table as an artist.
When I think of release, I think of expression, and that's what you're doing in your music. You're expressing yourself, telling us how you feel, and allowing us to be in that space too while we listen to it.
Right.
So let's jump into it. Release Party 2. The first track, Juke God. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, Juke God.
So who's Juke? Is that
Jupe is New Jupiter. That's what I call New Jersey.
Okay.
Especially being a black sheep, it just builds off of that feeling. But it has a lot of different meanings. You know, this could go for weed smokers. This could go for just black sheep in general. This could go for motherfuckers that feel like aliens, or motherfuckers that it's just real music heads. Whatever it means to you, you know, consciousness as well. New Jupiter is the higher level. So it started as just a Jersey thing, and then it went into all of this, but that's really what I mean. I created New Jupiter, so obviously I am Juke God. I'm the king of it.
okay?
And, you know, the video really shows, like, everywhere that I just came up around. So when the video drops, you're going to be seeing what really makes me Juke God.
Okay, and is that the first video? Because we did speak about his videos, and he did say he was going to drop 6 videos.
Yes, I got a video for every project. Well, you know, as you know, KOJ is out now, Kids on the Journey, produced by the legendary Nick Wiz. Shout out to him, 100, Sean Gotti, everybody that collabed with me on this. But the next one is, let me not speak too soon.
Okay. But he did say he got him on top.
Yeah,
so.
I'm an energy guy, but Juke God is actually the first one we did shoot.
Okay.
So when you see it, we out everywhere. You don't see nobody with masks. This is like we were talking about February, March 2020.
Okay.
When you just started hearing about shit, nobody really was taking it serious. And yeah, that's just a video I always wanted to make, so I can't wait to share that with y'all.
And that's probably really special because it's like, you know, before all of this mandate and all that, it kind of, you probably think back and you're like, wow, like this is really, I was really doing king shit, you know, and hopefully you get back into, you know, the real world and start performing. Have you been performing?
I haven't performed since around February 2020. That was the last time.
Wow.
I've been at a couple shows since like the summertime. I don't think I've performed yet, but
that's
sun is growing up now, yeah.
And Desensitized.
Yes.
Let's talk about Desensitized. I think that's probably one of my favorite ones on the album.
That's my mother's favorite song. I think because I just was just saying some real shit on that song. So that features Big Rube, who is from Dungeon Family. That's like Outkast OG. So any Outkast album, Dungeon Family album you listen to, most people know Big Rube from his interludes on things like 13th Floor, on ATLiens, Liberation. That's just a verse though with Badu and everybody on Aquemini. So we went down there, the video that's coming out. See, we dropping a lot of exclusives right now. Though nobody know about none of this shit.
Can't wait to drop this.
Yes. So we went down to Atlanta, and Big Rube, he has a mural down there. the SWATs. So that's his hood. So we went out there, me and my people's 100 grand in B-Boy. And I didn't know that they had all of their murals there. Outkast, CeeLo and Goody Mob, Sleepy Brown and Organized Noise, Mister, which was the song Blackberry Molasses. They had Bobby Valentino when he was 14, singing about real life shit. You know, that was the 90s for you. But and then on the other side, I didn't even know, you know, they had all the other A legends, Killer Mike, T.I., Luda, everybody. So it was just amazing to just be in that presence of just like being in that city where I'm not from, going down south to where these are some guys that, like I said, are some of my biggest inspirations. Now I'm shooting with one of the OGs of the whole shit, you know, in front of the murals. We got a little nature spot, and I shot something on the rooftop in downtown, which is really amazing. So, you know, that song is just a real song. I didn't expect it to happen. I had this beat from a New York producer, K Knowledge, shout out to him. And I just told him, bro, that like he had the beat a little slower. And I'm like, yo, this shit is so hard. You gotta speed up the BPM. Like, it can't be slow like that. It gotta be faster. It's moody. I'm like, I'm about to just go in on this shit. I did my shit. And then I started speaking with Rube, and I don't know, somehow he ended up on the song. And the him talking that you hear on the chorus, that was really just an intro that he did.
Okay.
And we ain't have no chorus, and I'm like, man, on some ill producer shit, like this should be the chorus. Because it already got the soul samples, you hear all the beautiful music, and it was just so epic. Like I asked him to say the part where he says from the AT aliens to the Martians and Jupiter, just to let people know where we coming from. Like everybody, if you listen to hip hop, you should know ATL is it's a classic, and just what they represent as a crew, Dungeon Family, being so inspirational to me and being so real. They always made great music, but they always made real music. So for it to all come together and then be shooting out there, I'm really like closing my eyes, breathing on some meditation. Like, yo, this is what it is right now. This real life. You feel me?
Preach. And the next Lost. Let's talk about Lost for me.
I feel like Lost, if anything, is going to be the biggest song on the album. If anything, and there's a lot of big records on there, so that's saying a lot. I got to give a shout out to my homegirl, Nyambi J, because
beautiful voice.
Yes, amazing. Everybody loves her. I pray this helps her a lot too, and everybody on the project.
Is she from New Jersey too?
She's from Patterson. Okay. We all from that area. 100 grand. He's from Patterson. A lot of the people, the Ivor Genius, shout out. So a lot of legendary Silk City people that I feel like people don't even know about like that. That I want to help bring out. When shout out to Lori Love, she put me onto Nyambi. And I was like, wow, I was looking for somebody like that. Like a soul singer, somebody that could bring like a neo soul vibe. That's one of my favorite genres. So I was looking for somebody. She got on the song before anybody because I didn't even know what to do on it yet. I was just letting the vibe come to me. I don't like forcing it.
Okay.
So she got on there.
Y'all was in the studio together.
Yeah. Shout out to Heavy Artillery. Shout out Luch and Capital and Saga. We was up there with Saga recording us. And she just went in there. She did her thing. She didn't even really have like a breakdown to it. She just went in there and expressed. And so I had to go back and I told Saga, like, we need to make like a chorus and a verse out of this. So I had that. And then I'm like, okay, what the fuck I'm gonna come with? I don't got nothing for this, nothing. Like I said, I don't force, I let it come. So one day I'm on the treadmill and there's some like shit I would always say in the freestyle. I don't even know why, but if I just couldn't think of the next line, I'll be like, everybody know me on some funny shit. And so I started saying that, and then I was like, they can never know how hard it get. And if you listen to the verse, as powerful as it is.
Can we play it?
We can play it.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Because, he got to get his check for the songs on when they play it on the podcast and stuff like that. So we only gonna play a little bit. So
yeah, a lot of the lyrics on the verse some of the lyrics are similar.
Yeah.
And it's repeating. But that also goes back to affirmations, and it just goes back to like as a rapper, I had to master lyrics, but I had to also realize this is music, this is a feeling, this is a vibe. You feel me? You don't have to always over articulate what you're saying. Just say what feels right.
Right. Just gonna let it rock.
You can let it rock. Shout out to the Eye of a Genius. He hopped on that second verse.
Yeah, Neo Soul, I would say, is definitely getting the recognition that it should. Because I feel like not a lot of people were listening to it, but now it's becoming a little bit more popular.
Yeah, that's true. There's definitely a resurgence. People are saying R&B, but a lot of it is just Neo Soul. It's, you know, you got Brent Fires, you got a lot of different artists that's out there that you can name that, you know. And the thing that I keep in spirit of the classic Neo Soul is just making sure that we talk about something. Because it's like some people be bringing the vibes, but we also need the word too. Like, you feel me? If you think about like living my life like it's golden, that's a powerful thing to sing along to. The word is very powerful, so. Don't nobody know how hard it get. I know it all starts today. We're not the only thing flying. Time continue on and find your way. We're not the only thing flying. Time continue on and find. And that's strong. We're not the only thing flying. I gotta do something with her and everybody break their lyrics down. My boy Kids too, because she be saying some shit. Yeah. I be saying, we all be saying some
and
shit.
And I can't believe that she just, you know, went in there and...
Naomi is very, I feel like she's
it's
very spiritual.
It's my first time hearing her, so that's dope.
Yes, like she just goes in there and then whatever she has, she goes in. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, like I said, I go to Saga, like, yo, we gotta like, make some structure out of this. And salute to Saga, man, one of the best engineers in Patterson, because he just did that shit 1, 2, 3 like a true engineer. I'm thinking I'm real hands on, so I'm thinking I'm gonna have to be hands on. My hands was off. This motherfucker did that shit, bing bong, that's it.
And that's gotta be a lot of like, what's the word? Ease off of you as an artist, because like, you know, you work with people and you don't really know if they really know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. So to have somebody who just knew exactly what you wanted after you had said, oh, this is what I want.
Yeah, and especially for it to be dope. Like I said, I didn't have to say, nah, let's switch this to this. It was just, he really helped make the song what it is. You feel me? So shout out to Saga. Being of the essence, yeah, love is a blessing. Taste like grape, feel the vibe from a concentrate. Love, strong mindset, I promise that my heart can match it. Physical, I'ma keep going through the end zone. You friendly, ain't a real good tone. Find your way, find your way. We're not the only thing flying. Time continue on, find your way. We're not the only thing flying. Time continue on, find your way.
Really, really dope. I love that. Shout out to everyone on that track.
Thanks.
All of them. This is just number 3. So we're going to get into KOJ, which is Kids on a Journey.
Yes.
Okay.
Video out now. Super proud of this one. It's making its rounds and I can't be happy about it.
And the video, where did you shoot that?
The video I shot at Silk City Rich Grounds in Patterson. Shout out to, Star, Will, Chanel, Joe, everybody over there. That's where we shot a lot of it. Then we went right outside and we shot a lot of it right there by the building you see, right there by downtown. And then we actually went to Hoboken to shoot the rooftop scene with the New York skyline and everything. And I just feel like it all blended together perfectly.
And your YouTube channel, so everybody knows how to look you up. It's just The Cause.
Yeah, you could go to youtube.com/The Cause. I'll come up right there, or just type The Cause Release Party 2 on YouTube.
So you're not only just an artist, you're also a producer, you said, and you also hire someone for your creative directing for videos, or are you also hands-on in that as well?
Yeah, I'm hands-on with that. Just to be clear to the people, I'm not making beats yet, but I mean, I'm definitely a producer as far as producing the song, people that know what it takes to go into a song is definitely, like they always say, is a difference between beat making and producing. And shout out to all the beat makers who, to me, I only work with real producers anyway, but I'm just so hands on. I usually take most of, I work with great people and they might get it 75, 85 where I want it. And then I got to come in and just, you know, I'm tedious, like I said. I got to get it. Everything, I'm big on energy. So before anything, the energy got to always be there. Because there could be a video, a photo, a song that is logically good. But the energy, if you don't understand energy, somebody might not even get what the hell you're talking about.
Right.
But it's like you feel it, you just feel it. So even with a video, I'll feel with my intuition. Now let's take that out, let's take that out. And thankfully now I'm more popular, I'm getting more out there so people will understand, okay, I wouldn't even say it's a method to the madness because to me it ain't no madness, but somebody that's not used to that, especially on a local level when people are used to, if I shoot a video for you, I might just give it to you and then you take it. Some guys might have not even never heard nobody say, I want to, you feel me? They don't even understand because, intuition, energy is a next level. You think it would be right, normal for any creative or artist. But like I said, sometimes it's logic, which you need some of that too, but the energy is important. So that's why, I'm super hands-on. That's why by the end of, shooting all the videos for this rollout, it was like I said, just
right. 6 videos throughout 2-year span, right?
Yeah.
You say you started recording the album in 2020,
mm-hmm.
And it's finally here and on Tidal, Apple Music, Spotify. You could catch it. The Cause Release Party 2, and also listen to his older projects too, because you have the Release Party 1, like we mentioned, and I also seen. Let's go back. You've been making music. You said, well, your artistry started when you were 8, but your first project
officially, I would say, you could say somewhere between 2010, 2011, somewhere in that year.
Right. And recently, you just put like a TikTok, I think, of your evolution and your growth. I thought it was dope.
And I had many more videos I could have put on there, but I just wanted to get like all the highlights and everything from Release Party 1 and then to KOJ and Kids on the Journey.
And all of your handles are The Cause, but your Instagram is?
They're all at Com King Causey. On IG, Twitter, TikTok, at Com King Causey. Or just type in The Cause and you should find me.
Yes, make sure to follow him. Make sure to subscribe, engage, because we met online, and that was really organic. And I appreciate you again for coming here today.
Salute. Appreciate you.
And let's get into Soul Jams. What's Soul Jams about? Am I saying it right?
Yeah, Soul Jams. Well, Soul Jams is really it's like a flip on Kanye West's Slow Jams. It's the same sample. My boy Data Miles from Garfield did that. And, at first he had that as an interlude in between another beat. And I said, I just want that. Loop that for me right there. This in KOJ, I had the whole song written and I just knew I was hanging with my boy Honey Hard. He could rap and sing. So I was like, yo, I need you to freak these shits because my shit is cool. Right. And I want to let people hear those versions so they could really see, like I said, how far producing a song comes. And, you just got to be intuitive about it. But at first it was just me kind of rapping the hooks. And so I got Hunted on there. And it's really just my version of slow jams. At first it was called Slow Jams. And a lot of it is neo soul, a lot of positive vibes, high vibrational shit. And I was like, I always thought, am I just gonna take Slow Jams? The difference is mine got an S, that's the difference. And one day Soul Jams hit me, because that's what it is. That's what it's about. Lauryn Hill, Frank Ocean, Badu, Raphael Sadiq, just soul jams, just great music, among many others. And obviously, it's a romantic, sexual type of song. And when you watch the video, at the beginning of the video, we shot it at So Amazing Studios. Shout out to Shot Bull, shout out Fetty Wap, everybody that works up out of there. And in the video it says next Tuesday night because it's a continuation of Tuesday night from Release Party 1.
Okay.
So, you know, the saga continues. I'm here for y'all, man. The shit don't end right there. Even though I didn't have it to be continued, you could take it like that. Now we back with the part 2 on a bigger scale.
You have to do your homework.
Word
that's
up.
Really what it is.
And Tuesday Night is one of my favorite videos of all time. So to do not necessarily the song, but the visual as like a continuation of it, you know, to see where it goes from there, you know, it's really dope for me. And like 2 of my favorite videos. Shout out to Nimi Hendrix that shot Soul Jams coming out soon.
Yes, and then Empaths Paradise.
Yes, Empaths Paradise with Nyambi. Shout out Nyambi again.
Yes. For anybody who doesn't know what an empath is, I'm saying empath. That's somebody who can, you know, feel and relate and have sympathy to any kind of situation. So, talk to me about Empaths Paradise.
Yeah, so this song, a lot of this song, it just deals with. I actually wrote this in like 2018. A lot of it just deals with people I was dealing with, and you know, coming up as a young man or woman in the game, you know, or life period. You know, the older you get, you start to strip some of them ties. That's not good for you. That maybe people that you fuck with a certain way, you know, and you got history with. You might even love them, but you might start to realize as you go on, like, yo, I'm gonna have to shed some of these people if it's not healthy for me. And if all of that, if everything, you know, it could be business wise, anything, if the work ethic not there, whatever it is, it talks about a lot of things like that. And, you know, knowing that I named the project Empaths Paradise, well, Release Party 2, Empaths Paradise, I wanted to just name that after it because if you listen to the song, you also hear through things I'm saying, and especially through some of the samples from Dame Dash, you get that I'm also kind of taking responsibility for it with things like when Dame Dash says I wasn't confident enough to like be dolo and believe in myself and like things of that nature. And also Empaths Paradise is also kind of saying, you know, when you grow up like a sensitive being like that, especially I feel like as a man, when you don't understand shit about yourself, you don't know what's really going on all the time. You just
the pressure.
You might kind of feel it. You kind of are articulate to it, but not really.
Right.
So, you know, I think all of us growing up, a lot of people have at least minor mental health things going on where, you know, from childhood or whatever. Yes. And that's why also a lot of times we break apart in that like mid-20s, 30-ish stage because you starting to really realize a lot of shit about life and realize like, okay, life is about more than just having fun, and this a lot of shit ain't fun no more. Fun is like respect is good. Right. Love is good. Love is fun. Joy is good. Yes. And just, you know, trust and real communication. So this song right here is just basically my letter writing how I felt at this time. When you come into the game, you think the people you with, you're gonna be with them forever and shit. Yes. And in some ways through the history, you are tied to them a little bit, but at the same time, you completely go off on your own. And also, you know, people that, you know, really grow and mature, they'll understand that, and maybe y'all could come together a little bit again at some point. Maybe some things, you know, not maybe, some things will never be like how it was again. Everything's different, but that's just them growing pains. That's really what it is right there.
Right. Okay, nice. And I had a couple questions more because I really like the title Empaths Paradise. If you were to handcraft a paradise, or where would it be, and who would you bring, like, for an empath?
I feel like it gotta be like a tropical island. You feel me? And just like good people, your family, your friends, you know, of course, your significant other, just the people that make you feel good. And then from there, you just do the shit you normally do: read, make music, smoke weed, you know, talk and eat and live life. But that's what I would say. Like, you know, for right now, as somebody that's now just starting to get out to these places, I would say like a tropical island, something laid up.
Especially in this cold weather that we're experiencing now, everybody wants to be somewhere warm. I know I do.
Yeah, that definitely sounds nice right now.
Okay, so I mean, we kind of went through the album. You told us some exclusives, and I appreciate that. Is there anything else that you want to share with us about, your artistry or the project?
Man, it's been a lot, man. I just want to shout out to we could talk about Peter Rosenberg playing me on High 97.
Yes, let's talk about that.
So really, the reason how he premiered my song is because I started sending out records to DJs and people, and 2020 was crazy. So me thinking my project was gonna come out, it wasn't that. So he ended up playing shit long before it even came out. So the only way anybody heard it was literally if they was tuned in that night to Rosenberg's show, Real Late with Rosenberg on High 97. I had no idea it was coming. Um, I've been saying in interviews, like, for this to be sometimes such a money-driven business, when somebody has no name and they try to charge you, it's a blessing when somebody that has a name does shit on the strength, out of the love for the culture, which Rosenberg is a big advocate, obviously, for it. And things like that, it shines light on people that might not always be getting a shine. So I appreciate him for that, because that put the battery in my back full force. He
Confirmation.
played him playing KOJ and Desensitized in the same night. So
congratulations.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate everybody out there, because I feel like Don Miguel Ruiz says, it's a dream of the planet all of our consciousness creates. The consciousness of society, or as he calls it, the dream of the planet. So I feel like all of us coming together at that time, certain things was happening, certain good things, bad things, but people was coming together. I feel like this was a moment where people was rallying behind me so hard that the energy just made it go somewhere. Because when I first met Rosenberg and I had Release Party 1, nothing was getting played. And
did that frustrate you, or?
I don't know if it frustrated me, because you got to keep on, but of course you'd be like, damn, man, the shit is hot.
Right.
The shit is hot. And I guess by now I just know that's part of the game. You got to see the energy that's behind everything that might not be seen in the physical world yet. You got to just know that it's there.
Yes.
Because you could be a creative or artist, any type of entrepreneur, and have something great and be sitting there like, it's easy to get frustrated. When you first start out, everybody has moments where you be like, fuck, man, because you're doing everything right. And I think, when you really love it, you stick with it, and you start to realize that, okay, there's a method to this. Like, let me just stay high vibrational as much as I can. Let me not get down like that, because this is what I signed up for. This is what I chose to do, or what chose me, or whatever. This is what it is. And so, like you said, those confirmations, they show you that even in times when you're not having as much patience, or you wondering what's going on, is the universe got things going on that you don't even see yet, and people don't even see yet. So you just gotta stick with it. And just shout out to Rosenberg. Nick Wiz is on the project, who's a legendary producer, produced for Rakim, a lot of different people. And Big Rube, of course, like I said, who a lot of people know from the Dungeon family. When I came back from Atlanta, I was just watching all their videos. Like, I'm a fan. I'm watching Big Rube on Def Poetry Jam. Like, damn, yo. Like, there was a part when we were shooting, we got in the car real quick. We all was packed up in my shit. And I started telling Rube about the song Babylon that Outkast did from ATLiens, because he was saying that on his classic interlude 13th Floor, he was originally supposed to do that on Babylon. That's why the last line is something about Babylon. And I said, yo, Andre verse on Babylon is one of the hardest opening verses ever. I started rapping it like I came into this world high as a bird from secondhand cocaine powder. I know it sounds absurd. I never tooted, but it's in my veins. He started rapping it. So I just let him take it because he the OG. Like I'm doing his ad libs and I'm thinking like, see, sometimes people get so wrapped up in, like I said, the money, even artists, that, you know, you gotta keep your inner child. Like, have fun, be a kid with it. Because, you know, it's about the business, but it's about, that's a part of it. Mm-hmm. This is about us loving this shit. I'm really, you know, sitting there with Rube like, damn, I'm here with the OG that's on the album, rapping one of my favorite rappers' verses. We rapping it together. Like I said, the murals, everything like that. Mm-hmm. It just lets me know that, you know, real music is out here, the cause is out here, you know, and Release Party 2 and Empaths Paradise. Y'all need to hear it, man. Because some of y'all haven't heard it yet. Y'all need to go hear that and just catch the vibes, man. You know, feel good about life and just, you know, we saying some real shit too. Shit ain't fluff. Mm-hmm. It's not the fluff positivity music. It's just real shit from the soul. You feel me?
Yes, and you said today makes 2 weeks of it being out.
That it's been out. Yes, this is the 2-week anniversary while we shooting this right now.
Right, exactly. So you're not too late, but don't get too far behind.
Yeah, it's still early, but the way this shit is going right now, the KOJ video is out right now. Convos with Cause Part 3, my series on YouTube is out right now. The album is out right now, and it's moving right now, man. So anybody that's a real hip hop fan, a real soul fan, a real neo soul fan, a real music fan, period. I could probably put other genres in there, but for all the real motherfuckers, man, go listen to that. Release Party 2, Empaths Paradise.
Right. I was gonna say it's a luxury to do this. Like us being here talking, speaking about your craft, you working on your craft. Like it's the simple things for me, mm-hmm. And I find it, like how you were saying, your inner child, you have to really embrace and do the things that you've always wanted to do, which you're living now. Even if you feel like, oh, well, you know, it doesn't get played or whatever, it will, and it shall. And yeah, I just feel like a lot of the time radio stations, they're, you know, controlled by the man. So they have like an agenda and, you know, whatever it is that they're doing. But I feel like there's going to be a breakthrough. Mm-hmm. And I remember as a child listening to the radio station and it'd be so like organic. I don't know if it was just me. Maybe it was just, you know, because I was young, mm-hmm. you know, but I remember listening to a late night radio station. It was Hot 97. I forget her name, but she used to have this talk show at the end of the night, and she used to do this segment called Lockdown Love. And she used to call people, or people used to call her from jail.
Yeah, that sounds like Lisa Evers, I think, might have been who you're talking about.
It might have been her, but, you know, those are the little things that, you know, kept me, like, inspired and you know, wanting to build my podcast up. So, you know, it's little things like that. So,
yeah, it's definitely more formulated. Obviously, it's been for a long time. That's why, you know, I salute guys like Rosenberg that really still do this shit for real. Like, he really living his dream. This motherfucker on WWE, ESPN. This motherfucker made his own album with all his favorite rappers on it. Like, you know, that's what I mean. Like, you gotta, like they said, Virgil said, do it for the 17-year-old self or even younger. Like, you know, when you see people like that, that's real. You know, I know Rosenberg, he'll talk about how he do the mainstream hours, and he probably love doing his show because he gets to play whatever he want.
Right.
And I remember even Nick Wiz that produced it was surprised that he played, you know, KOJ, and I was like, man, you know, a lot of stuff that he plays is like the Griselda stuff. So I guess he thought it don't sound like that. And you know, Rosenberg, he's just an all around, you know, real hip hop guy. Yeah. I feel like if he hears something, I know he know Nick Wiz too. He a fan of his production too, so I know that helped. But yeah, just salute to all them guys, man, because it's easy to get caught up sometimes in a robotic world, doing the same thing every day. And people that just really live their truth and live their dream is the best feeling in the world.
And where do you want to take this, your career? Like, where do you see yourself in the next year, and God willing?
Just man, bigger collabs, bigger outlets, bigger opportunities. In the next couple of years, it's definitely gonna be festivals. You know, I just know that whatever this is cliche, but whatever you put your mind to, that's some real shit because like we've been saying, words and thoughts are powerful.
Yes.
If I think to myself every day that I'm a wealthy man and I'm this amazing artist and really put in the work though to be wealthy and to be this amazing artist, there's nothing for it to do but manifest. You feel me? So it's really just about how much you put into it. Like I said, when you coming up early, it's easy to be like, damn man, we've been going hard for like 2, 3 years. What's going on? And then, it comes to the point where it's like, yo, time itself is made up anyway. Something to keep us on schedule, I guess, but it's not mostly anything you could, not to get too abstract, but mostly anything that we could probably say is made up in some kind of way. Mm-hmm. So, like, it wasn't like, obviously, there wasn't always time. And
yeah, because I hear that it's not really 2022 coming. Like, I hear that we're still in 2013.
That's what I'm saying. You can hear a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And it's really all perspective because somebody had to think of it in the first place.
Right.
So, especially when it comes to somebody's years and age, like when it comes down to hip hop, like when we was growing up, it was like nobody wasn't really coming out at 30. That was very odd. Mm. So then when, probably the past 10, 15 years, you started seeing people where, oh, this guy, Action Bronson, Boldy James, this person.
Right.
Nobody really give a fuck because really it's stupid to begin with. Of course, hip hop was new and I guess people expected everybody to be kind of like young and fresh in that way. Right. Like they said when Chuck D came out, he was like, I don't know, maybe late 20s, and that was weird. Like it wasn't a lot of that even in the 90s, mm-hmm. early 2000s. So, I think it just shows when you hear about all these success stories that started even at 40, 50, 60, mm-hmm. people that turned their entire life around. It just really shows you how, we are creators, even though we in tune with something higher than us, we are a part of that too. Like we create. Mm-hmm. And so, the hard part is just reprogramming your mind and staying on that high frequency, mm-hmm. to just continue to just elevate. And, it's easy to let shit get you down, but you just gotta just stay at it, man.
And speaking of high frequency, what are some things that keep you in that creative flow? Like, if you don't mind sharing, because I know everybody has their things that they don't like to share their secrets, but what's something that you feel like that you have to do in order to get into that zone?
I mean, meditation helps because if you still your mind, something might just hit you. Mm-hmm. It could be bigger than just music, but that's why a lot of times when, people try to remember something, they can't remember it. Mm. But then when they go do something else, it just comes to their head because they're not even thinking about that. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, I don't really like to force it. I'm a weed head. I like smoking weed a lot, but I don't need weed to write, But I be happy when I write a sober rhyme. I'm like, damn, this shit ill. Like, you don't need shit.
Right.
But, I just like shit like that. Like I said, weed, meditation, incense. I like to just set a mood. I like to have that high frequency there.
You go into the studio already having something in mind, or sometimes do you go to the studio just like free balling?
Yeah, it depends how I'm feeling. Okay. When I was recording with my boy Lucci, who's on Juke Guy, he does background vocals on there. He does a little bit of everything. He recorded me on Release Party 1 and some of the songs on Release Party 2. And I'll just go in there like, yo, make a beat. Mm-hmm. Yo, make a beat in like 20, 30 minutes. I'll write in like 20, 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. We come out there with a song. Sometimes people send me beats. I mean, I do like to write a lot on my own, but, as artists and I'm Aquarius, I'm not like conventional. Like I said, I don't like robotic shit. I don't want to always do everything the same way, you feel me? Like, some days I might want to go in there and make a song from scratch, or whatever really feels right at the moment.
Yeah, because with me and podcasting, I would say I definitely do write, what I'm gonna mostly say, but I like it for it to be organic too, like you're just having a conversation.
Right. Exactly.
So yeah.
Well,
you know what? I did want to talk about the album work, and I love that you could find the visualization of the album work on YouTube too. If you wanted to just put it on your screen and vibe out in the living room,
Yes.
It's a cool alien, right? With is that like
going in the back,
right?
And he got the astronaut helmet because we're in Jupiter.
Right. So what inspired you? Did you draw that, or you told somebody to create that for you?
Yeah, I actually had another drawing of the alien. And the artist that did this is named Tiara Armstrong. Super, super talented. She be doing murals, all kinds of shit. Wow. After I worked with her and I just seen what she be doing, I'm just like, wow, like real legendary stuff. So to have her do the artwork is amazing. So this is funny because I didn't know it was going to look like this. I had sent her the drawing that I already had, and I said, I want this in the middle, and I want lasers going in the background, and that's really like what we built off of that. Right. And she just drew her own version of it. Okay. So when people see my Welcome to New Jupiter hats, it's in the Conversations with Cause Part 3 video. You could see the original. It's kind of like the graduation bear, but an alien is kind of like more cartoonish like that. So she really took it to the next level. When I tell you, we worked on this shit, because then you got the back cover, and like I said, I'm tedious. The vibe has to be right. So big shout out to Tiara Armstrong for not only being an amazingly talented and important artist, but for taking time with me, man, because like I said, now I'm popping, and people could be like, okay, we get it, why he's like that or whatever, but in the beginning it's real hands-on, and she got her hands dirty with me with the paint, and she painted a masterpiece. So salute to Tiara Armstrong.
Nice. You could make that an NFT.
Facts. There you go. I mean, I love the image. A lot of things about me, I feel like, from how I dress to my artwork to my music, is very colorful. That's what I wanted to convey. If you look at the original Release Party 1, this is just an all yellow background. Yellow and red was really like the colors for that album. You see me grabbing my face. Shout out to Edgar Soto and my boy Farrakhan, the artist that collabed on that right there. I almost feel like
it kind of looks like an evolution, of you.
And if you really look at it, you see like the third eye right here. Even like the drippiness, I feel like it's almost like psychedelic.
Yeah.
And if you look at the coverage, you could just see the type of vibe that I try to put out there before you even see the music.
I'm gonna make sure I put the album on the screen to see what we're talking about, because the album work is really nice. I really like it a lot.
Appreciate it. I always thought, like I said, before you hear the music, a lot of the time, you would see coming up, you would see the CD cover.
Yes.
Or now you see the artwork online, and that's putting a vibe out there before you even hear anything. So it's like, some of y'all might not want to fuck with this, but a lot of y'all gonna want to fuck with this. You feel the energy that's coming from these covers. So now, go check out the music and see what you think.
Right, like they say, don't judge a book by its cover, but the cover does give you a first impression of what the album is gonna be like. So let's get into the Release Party 1.
Okay.
The Cause. So 5 songs.
Yeah, 5 songs.
The new album has 6. Do you like that? Like doing short pieces of work?
I have since on this album right here, I just felt like going solo was kind of weird at first, and especially through personal things. By the time I got to this project, I was also like, I want to come out with, once I know I have something that's going to make a statement, whatever how many songs it is, I want to come out with that. So I had 4 songs. I had the first 4, which is funny because the last one is the last song. I don't think it's really in order, but you never know. It might be on some real aligned shit. That might be the order I recorded it. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But when I did Five Flower Town, it just felt like the grand finale for me. You know, when you listen to it, it's a big collab. It's a bunch of people doing things on there. From even the production itself, when you listen to the way the beat goes off with the strings and everything, it's amazing. So, you know, once I did that, I was like, that's it. I feel like the album is ready to go, and I'm out with it.
Okay. Five Flower Town featuring Valana.
Yeah, Valana Denise, Sunny, and Do It All is a legendary rapper from North, from Lords of the Underground. They had a lot of hits in the 90s. And if you listen to the song, you'll see that at the time he was running, I think he's running again now for a political share out there. Him and Redman was in the streets, guerrilla style, going hard for Do It All to be councilman. I feel like he got really close and he didn't make it that year. I think he's trying again now. If you listen to his verse, I told him, I'm like, yo, I want that Jersey shit, but like talk about what you're doing now. So he did it perfect. Shout out to my boy History from Brooklyn that produced this one right here. From Mogul Club. Shout out Rodney. Shout out to my boy Knowledge that I was in a group with prior. He actually wrote this hook right here. He brought Sunny and Valana in for this record. And Sunny though, she changed some of it to fit her swag, but they collabed in the chorus right there. So shout out to everybody.
Is it easy to collab with people, or do you find it's a little bit challenging?
I guess it depends. You know, like I said, if you let things be natural, it's usually, you know, it pretty much just flows like anything else. Like I might go in there solo by myself and do a song, and I might be like, it's cool. Then another song like, damn, I want to build on this. So I feel like it's the same thing with a collab. But I feel like the only difference is with a collab, usually you're going into it thinking this is going to be something. I'm coming to the studio, this person coming to the studio or whatever, and you go into it with an even greater intention, I think, to make something great. So, you know, but yeah, if you just let it flow with the right people, you know, I feel like sometimes on the business end it could get tricky because you got to make sure all that is right and everybody got to agree to everything. Mm-hmm. That's a learning process when you just come up just doing it. Right. But, you know, everybody that I've really been collabing with, you know, I get the most out of it. They get the most out of me. And, you know, I'm really, really proud, especially just for like my area and just for Jersey period and just hip hop and music period, because you got legends on some of these projects. Mm-hmm. So everybody that has come aboard to help, you know, pitch in and do their thing, you know, salute, because it's all great people.
Right, and it takes a team. You know, mm-hmm. you want to, you know, build off each other and learn from each other, because there's certain gems that you may not know of. So mm-hmm. It's nice to really get together, especially Jersey. I feel like a lot of people like to downplay Jersey, but mm-hmm. There's a lot of great talent out here, and a lot of people steal some of our grooves mm-hmm. and try to put their mask on it.
That's a fact.
So, you know.
I was saying in my interview with Sean Love, like that's really why I came with the new Jupiter concept, because, mm-hmm. you know, I just feel like after a while it hit me. Like I feel like because other people don't think we popping, we don't think we popping a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. You know, you might have people like rep their cities or whatever, but I don't know. If they go out of town, they might rep their cities like on some like, you know, my city is hard, but mm-hmm. it's not. Jersey does not get the musical and just like artistic love that it deserves, yes. you know, because we got Lauryn Hill. Yep. We got myself, we got Fetty Wap out now, we had Joe Budden out for a long time. Naughty by Nature, Redman, Latifah. A lot of these is just in the rap genre.
Right. Or Whitney Houston,
Sinatra. it goes on and on, man. You know, we have so many people that I think sometimes people don't even realize that come from New Jersey. And I feel like that's part of my duty. My first mission is just great music. Yes. But being a Jersey boy is a big part of my thing to let people know, besides just to see me and my people that's popping and everybody that I work with, but just to stay there as a whole, because I feel like we're the most slept on state of all time. Yes. Like when Soprano was popping in our generation, that's when we seen people be like, oh, you from Jersey? Mm-hmm. But then it's like the New Jersey Drive generation in that 90s, that was kind of like we was young. So the older heads, they seen Naughty by Nature and Redman and everybody come out. Right. And then, you know, like I learned about it and everything, but, you know,
it was probably like casted as New York because, you know, everybody sees the East Coast as New York. And then also, I think a lot of people, when they get to their success and they have, you know, whatever luxury they come to Jersey. They come back to Jersey. Exactly. So it's like, all right, well.
Everybody want to move in Jersey, but they don't want to be from Jersey. Right. It's like if you would see a lot of times, if you went to school or worked with somebody that moved from New York, a lot of times their attitude would be like, I'm from New York or whatever. Mm-hmm. And we like, nah, we fuck with you, but you gotta fuck with us too because we fly too. New York can't be fly, Philly can't be fly, Connecticut can't be fly, then Jersey ain't fly. Right. I don't know if people think Connecticut's fly, but to me, everybody's fly. But I'm just saying, Philly and New York for sure, they get love, and then we sandwich in between. I'm pretty sure Connecticut feel that way too. There's other places that I know feel slept on. Like Atlanta at one time was slept on. Look at it now. Mm-hmm. Everybody want to move to Atlanta. Everybody want to sound and look and be like they from Atlanta. And shout out to Atlanta. So there's other places like that. Like, you know, I feel like in Jersey, we don't feel like we could be popping like that. Yeah. And it's fucked up because it's like, even like when I love to see how much Fetty Wap rep New Jersey. Yes. He goes so hard for Jersey and Patterson that, you know, to have somebody on that level. Mm-hmm. And there's other celebrities, like you got Victor Cruz and, you know, there's other people out there, but then there's some people that you wouldn't even know they was from Jersey.
Right, because they don't speak about it, you know, and then I feel like a lot of people that do leave Jersey, you know, end up just, you know, being Hollywood a little bit. So it's like, for me, I love Jersey. I love the artists from Jersey. My mission for Bars Says So is to really put people on from my state. Oh, yeah. And, you know, get the word across. The cause is here. Oh, yeah. Release Party 2 is out.
And Jupiter's in the building.
Right.
You see, I got Lauren right here. Like, we so Jersey with it, man. My grandfather's ring on. Right. Come on, we both going hard for the Jupe. Mm-hmm. Jupe God is in the building, people.
Yep, we going up. And this is going to go viral.
It's already up.
And I'm excited, to release the Release Party 2.
Yes.
Interview with Bars Says So.
Yeah. Shit, I would just say, man, to wrap up, like, we talking a lot about entrepreneurial shit, real boss shit. You feel me? So anybody out there, you got a talent, a passion. If you got something you love to do, you know, you gotta really love to do it though, man. Don't try to get on for no clout, just for no bread, because you can make money doing anything. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, music, podcasting, any form of like art and entertainment, if you don't love it, you're gonna quit. You're gonna do 2-3 years of it and you're gonna be like, this don't make no sense. Like Steve Jobs said, you be too sane about it because you don't really love it. Mm. There was times I was like, damn, relationships is getting fucked up. I don't know who to trust. This is all part of the come up. Everybody has either a rock bottom moment in life too, period, on any kind of come up. But you have these moments where it's like, damn, what am I going to do? Should I quit? And then you just find yourself doing what you love. That's why, like, if you don't love it in that moment, you're like, I'm good. This is too much. But if you love it, you'll always continue with it. And so, like I said, I got played on Hot 97 2 times in one night, and I'm in my crib meditating, about to watch an Al Pacino movie, as I famously told. And I get a text from my boy that Rosenberg is playing 2 of my songs on the station that we grew up listening to. You feel me? All these stories from the Big Rube thing, and if you get anything from this story, from this, both the stories that we telling, you could really do anything, man. But you know, I believe in work smarter, not harder. But that doesn't mean that you're not gonna have to put the work in. I don't think we have to break our backs like we've been taught and fucking kill ourselves to get ahead. Understand spirituality and energy and all that enlightenment. Read as much as you can. I read every day. I meditate. I exercise as much as I can. I watch my diet. I just try to make sure that I'm consuming healthy things. Even like we talked about with people.
Yes.
Sometimes with people, just like you clean your room, you clean your crib, and things that you don't need no more, you throw out. Doesn't mean you hate that iron. You don't need that iron no more. It don't mean you hate motherfuckers. Don't mean you a bad person. It just means that to get to the next level, this is what's healthy for me. This is what's good for me. You know, you'll always keep good people around. You ain't got to worry about that. If you're thinking of getting somebody out your life, you know.
This is your sign.
Exactly. This is a confirmation for you right now.
Right, exactly. Because, you know, for me, I was always in denial when they used to say, you are who you hang with. Because, you know, I hanged with a lot of suspicious people back in the day.
Yeah.
And I would say that was not them. But looking back, you know, some of the behaviors, you know, some of the toxic things that I also, like we were talking about taking accountability, you know, it took into effect of, you know, where you are today or what happened afterwards, you know. So it's good, especially now in the end of the year, to really write down. I like to write things down. So write down what you don't like about yourself or what you don't like about the things, your circumstances, and see what the key or the problems are to those things that you don't like or the things that you want, and what you can do to move towards that direction. Because, you know, all it takes is the vision, the dream, and, you know, we're here because we both had a vision, we both had a dream, and we want you guys to tune in.
For sure. Check out Release Party 2, Empaths Paradise, featuring Kids on the Journey, which was played by Rosenberg. Premiered on High 97 by Peter Rosenberg. Produced by the legendary Nick Wiz. Everybody, I know you're going to get a vibe from this album. There's a lot to be talked about. I want to start conversations. I want to really build and just put great energy out there, man. Like I said, if you want to dance, dance. If you want to bob your head to it and just take it all in. If you want to smoke to it. If you want to drink to it. If you want to meditate to it. Whatever works for you, Release Party 1 and Release Party 2, Empaths Paradise is out there now on all streaming services.
All right. Thank you so much again for being here, and we're going to talk again soon.
For sure. Jersey on the map, New Jupiter on the map.
All right.